All right, good morning, good morning. Welcome to our Healthy Fit Seniors class. Everyone's got their weights and their ball. We're gonna start with the ball in between our thighs. For engagement, we're gonna be standing. You can stand in front of your chair if you want your chair as a target. Weights in your hands, nice tall posture, core engaged. Weights too. We're gonna tap the chair in a squat and then a shoulder shrug and roll those shoulders back. Squat. So we're gonna play the name game while we do this. I'm Kella. And we'll go around the room. So now you're gonna repeat.
Kella, Rhonda.
Kella, Rhonda.
Kella, Rhonda, Paula.
Kella, Rhonda, Paula. All right.
Pam.
Kella, Rhonda, Paula, Pam. 2 P's in a row.
Yeah.
2 P's in a pod. All right. Gina. So Kella, Rhonda, Paula, Pam, Gina.
I'm Diane.
All right. Kella, Rhonda, Paula, Pam, Gina, Diane, Laura. All right. Kella, Rhonda, Paula, Pam, Gina, Diane, Laura. Yay. Okay, so now this will be our last one. Good morning with upright row. Keep that core engaged. Nice flat back, tipping at the hip. Feel it in your hamstrings. And then upright row, lead with your elbows. So your seated option, you're gonna tilt forward, flat back, and then lead with the elbows. Everyone feeling that in your hamstrings? Your lower back should also be working. Two more. All right, set the ball aside. We're stepping back in a reverse lunge. Feet are staggered. Your feet are going to be pointed in the same direction. If your back foot is turned out, get your feet wider and closer together. Bending in that lunge, like you're picking something up, and then bicep curl. Elbows close to your body. And curl. Well, we're gonna put Miss Myrna to the test with the name game.
Name game? Okay.
All right, let's switch sides. Other side. Check those foot alignment. Lunge down and curl. Everyone getting warm?
Yes. Oh, it's just me.
Last one. All right, step it in, set down one of your weights. Overhead reach to side bend. Reach your arms up, side bend. Bring it back down. Reach it up, side bend the other side. Feel that good stretch from your hip down to, or up to your fingers. All right, Miss Myrna, we're gonna do our names. Everyone ready? We're gonna go in reverse. Let's work our brain a little bit harder. All right, so let's start in the back. Laura. And then who did we have?
Diane.
Diane. Diane, or Laura, Diane, Gina.
Pam.
Laura, Diane, Gina, Pam. Laura, Diane, Gina, Pam, Myrna. Laura, Diane, Georgina, Pam, Myrna, Paula. I was looking at you, I was going to say Rhonda.
Y'all forgot me.
I didn't forget you, I was looking at you, but I think we went in this direction last time. All right, torso rotation. Weight at your chest, rotate side to side, pivoting that foot. All right, Laura, Diane, Georgina, Pam, Myrna, Paula, Rhonda, Kella, we did it. I think everybody knows everybody's name, yes?
No.
Maybe?
Maybe.
If you don't change chairs?
Yeah, if you don't change chairs, it's okay.
That's good exercise for your brain. And I'm the first person to tell you I am terrible with names. So when I go to an event and people don't have name tags on, I am not going to remember your name. All right, get a sip of water. We're all warmed up. So it's good to exercise your brain by practicing learning names. And it's good to know the names of people you're hanging out with, right? I have teenage boys and sometimes they ask me if they can go hang out with someone. I'm like, well, what's their last name? I don't know. Well, I don't know if you can hang out with them then, right? All right, nice tall posture. Again, we can use our chair as a target here. Squat to bicep curl. We're gonna do wide hammer curls this time on those, okay? So have a seat, engage your core, and curl. The ball is to help engage your thighs, work those thigh muscles, keep your feet in alignment. Some of y'all, your toes are pointing a little bit out to the side. Let's try to make your feet parallel for good alignment. That's better for your ankle and knee joints. That's all right. You have the option of staying in the chair and doing the wide curls. Squeeze that ball if you're in the chair. Squeeze the ball. We'll get that thigh work in. One more. Great job. We're going to remove the ball. Reverse lunge with overhead press. So we're going to rack our weights up by our shoulders here. Step back in that lunge. If you need your chair for balance, you can have one hand on the chair, set down a weight. Lunge, we're putting that box away in the top of your closet. I still have not put away my Christmas tree.
It's only March.
I know. I think this is the longest the tree has ever been up. But we're going to have to put on the St. Patrick's decorations on it if we don't take it down this weekend. Great job, ladies. Where are all of our gentlemen today?
Run away.
All right, one more. Switching sides. Switch to the other side. We're going to change the way our arms are for this one to work the muscles a little differently. Lunge and press up. Engaging our core for that balance. This is good to do for shoulder health. I've been going to shoulder rehab twice a week. One more. All right, lateral lunge with a front raise. So you can do this one behind your chair. If you need your chair for balance, you're going to use one weight. I'm gonna give you a couple options here. We're gonna lunge to the side. You're on the side of the chair, front raise. If your arms, your shoulders don't feel good, you could do a bent arm, like a short punch, okay? Long arm lever, it's gonna be a little bit more effort than if you do the short punch, yes? Does everyone feel the difference? Try the two different ones. Does it feel harder to do the long arm lever? We only want to bring it up to shoulder height. Pushing back into your glute. You shouldn't feel this at all in your knees. Should be feeling that good stretch in the inside of the leg, yes? Good. One more. All right, deadlift with a row at the bottom. So again, our chest is nice and tall. We want to feel that engagement in our lower back. So when we tip at the hip, we're going to look like a 7. You're going to feel that stretch up the back of your leg, yes? We're going to row at the bottom. Lead with the elbows and then stand up. Nice flat back. Push out through your glutes. Like you have a PVC pull or a pool cue laying on your back. You want it to be nice and flat.
You doing us?
No, I'm gonna go walk. I'll walk. That's how I.
This is great to build up back muscles to prevent injury from picking stuff up off the floor or just bending over.
So bending over and pulling your stomach in when you get ready to pick up stuff.
Yes.
And over.
Core engaged. All right, step back with a lateral raise. So this is another one that you have the bent arm option or the long arm lever. So we're gonna tap back and switch. Core is engaged. You don't need to bring your arms up that high, so only to T height, like a T. Good. It's too stressful in your shoulder joint if you bring it up higher and you really don't get any of the muscle benefit. Good. Great job, ladies. Are we feeling strong today? Excellent. And rest. All right, get a sip of water. Next movement, a curtsy lunge. If you need your chair for balance, you're behind the chair. You're only going to use one weight, and then when we switch, we'll use the other weight. All right, so you cross behind in that curtsy to the queen, and press. You have your goblet of wine to give the queen. Here you go, queen. So this is also a balance exercise because we're standing on one leg, which is important, ladies, for preventing falls, right? Now, if this doesn't, again, with shoulder impingement, if that long arm lever doesn't feel good, you can reduce the range of motion or reduce the weight. Time to switch to the other side. If you're only using one weight, switch to the other arm and tap. Are you feeling that in the outside of your leg? Right here? Everyone feeling it there? Yes? Good. Starting to break a sweat here, y'all. Woo. 2 more. All right, split stance. So you're in a staggered stance here. Our feet are going to be stationary. Starting with our row back. Actually, let's tip and do the row this way. Row here, stand up, and then chest press. Bring the weight down, tipping at the hip, row, and chest press. The weight should be right about where the bottom, maybe the bottom of where your bra strap is. I forgot my row because I'm talking here. Leading with the elbows, squeeze those scapula and then press out. If you're feeling this move in your shoulders, you need to bring the weights down a little bit more. We're gonna switch our lead leg. Get nice and stable here. Tipping at the hip. You should feel it in the back of the hamstring, yes?
Yes.
Good.
Do what she said.
It's like Kella says, like Simon says. Simon says, or Kella says, squeeze those shoulder blades. Kella says, nice flat back. You should feel your lower back engaged. Again, that's strengthening so that you don't get back aches. Most back aches, low back pain is because of weak muscles. One more. All right, side step with cross body punches. So you can use a lightweight for these. Make sure you're not going to trip on your mat. Remember, the mat is mainly so that your chair doesn't move here. Side step and punch across. Exhale strong. Engage your core when you punch. We don't want anyone to try to take your purse in the parking lot of Walmart, right? That strong exhale is going to engage your core muscles so that we get more effective work out of our exercise today. Five seconds left. 2, 1. All right, shake it out. Wood chop, one weight. So we're gonna start on this one, low to high. We're flinging the wood over our shoulder. Over the shoulder. Over the shoulder. Two more and then we'll switch sides. All right, switch to the other side. You're swinging it the other way. Rotating through the core. Make sure you're rotating your feet so you're not torquing your knee. There you go. One more. All right, we have a little bit of a balance challenge here. Single leg deadlift. I'm turning my chair to the side so you can see. You can set down the weights here. First option is to kickstand the toes. So you don't really have any weight on this back foot. It's all on the front leg, but it's touching the floor as you come into your deadlift. Your other option is to lift that leg and press up. If you don't need the chair for balance, you don't have to use the chair. 3 more. Are you feeling that in the back of your legs? All right, switch your lead leg. So spread your toes in that shoe. Get that good balance, facing your chair. Option 1 is to kickstand the toe. You're just tipping at the hip so you feel it in the hamstring, or you're floating that leg. And up. Now, if you feel like your ankle's calculating a little bit, it's wobbling, it's trying to get proprioception, figure out where you're at in space and make contact with the ground. That will help strengthen your ankle. 1 more. All right, get a sip of water. We're gonna move into our core and stability strengthening. All right, so with this one, we're gonna do knee drivers. So you can hold onto the chair with 1 hand if you want, or 2 hands. Exhale as you drive that knee up. Switch legs, other side. Find your balance, drive that knee. Anytime we're coming up on one leg, we're using our balance. Strong exhales, use that core. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Grab 1 weight. Balance, hold. So we're going to engage our balance a little bit, our core muscles that go all the way around. Spread your toes in your shoe. Find that even balance in your toes, the ball of the foot and the heel. We can either kickstand the toe or float the leg. Curl, overhead press. Curl, overhead press. Again, your ankle might be a little bit wobbly. We're trying to build up strength. If you need to reset at any time, set the foot down, reset it, and start over. All right, let's switch to the other side. Spread the toes in that shoe. Find even balance in the ball of the foot and the heel. Nice tall posture. Use your chair as needed. Either kickstand or float the leg. Make sure that in your standing leg you have a soft knee. We don't want to lock our knee. That impacts your blood flow, and that's how military people, when they're at attention, that's how they fall over. Seriously, they do. They lock their knees. There's always one in a parade or a standing thing that they've locked their knees and they lose all the blood flow to their head and they pass out. So you want to keep that soft knee. 1 more. All right. Rotational press. So from a seated or standing position, we're going to rotate and press to the side. We're working our obliques right here. Strong exhales. I want to hear you breathing. Switch to the other side. Rotate and press. And press. Two more. All right, for our next move, You can either go long ways along your chairway or in front of your chair. We just want to make sure we don't trip on the mat. We're gonna come down in that squat and side step for 2 and reach. Side step for 2 and reach over the side. We're working our side body. This is a muffin top knee gone.
11.
Toning and tightening
11.
our
It's
side
not
body.
flight time. I'll come get you. Leave your number out on the table where I can see
Side
it.
step and reach. Side step. Are y'all feeling that in your legs? Two more. And rest. All right, weight shift. Hold your weights in front. So you can, there's a couple options for your feet here. You can have them hip distance apart, or for a more balanced challenge, you can have them close together. We're gonna kind of shift our weight around. If you think about the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz, when he's kind of like locked up and he's moving around, we want to shift our weight and our balance. You might feel the weight shift on your toes, the inside of your foot to the heel. Using our core for control. If you've been going in the same direction, switch directions. And rest. All right, it's time for our cool down stretches. Hamstring stretch. Kick one leg in front, pushing back into your glute. Reach down towards your thigh, your shin, or your shoe. Nice deep breaths here, breathing all the way down to your pelvic floor, expanding your rib cage, expanding your chest. Roll it up. Let's do that on the other side. Kick the toe to the front, pushing back into the glutes. All right. Open your legs. A straddle stance here. Open your chest. Like you're gonna give me a big hug. Feel good in your chest?
Yeah.
Bring your hands down to your bottom or your small of your back, pressing your elbows towards the back of the room. All right, big inhale up. Exhale, spread those elbows, pulling them towards the back of the room. Again, stretching. Rotate and twist. Look behind you, say, good job, neighbor. Other side, big inhale. Exhale. Hands behind the ears. Rotate and twist. Yeah, say, good job, neighbor. I'm happy to see you today. All right, have a seat in the chair.
Bye. See you next time.
Nice tall posture, adjusting your sits bones as we sit in the chair so we're evenly placed. Stack those vertebrae one on top of the other, lengthening the spine. You can have your hands beside you on your lap, whatever feels good. Let's take some nice deep breaths all the way down to our pelvic floor, expanding our rib cage, expanding our chest. Full deep exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Don't forget, this is going to be on our YouTube channel, so you can work out during the week with me. Make sure you like the videos so I know that you've done it at home. Great job, everybody.